Stop for a moment. Do not rush past these words. There is a reason your eyes have settled here today. Before you continue with your plans, before you answer another message or allow another distraction to steal your attention, be still and listen. I have been patiently waiting for this moment, not because I have been absent from your life, but because your heart is finally quiet enough to recognize my voice. This is not an accident. This is not luck. This is not another ordinary message among thousands you have seen. I know exactly where you are, exactly how you feel, and exactly what has been happening inside you, even when no one else noticed. I have watched the silent battles you never told another person about. I have seen the smile you placed on your face while carrying questions that felt too heavy to speak aloud. I know about the nights when sleep escaped you because your mind would not stop racing. I know the moments when you wondered whether your prayers had reached me. I heard every whisper. I counted every tear. I never turned my face away from you. Even when you believed heaven had become silent, I was working in ways your natural eyes could not yet understand. There were moments when you believed the delay meant rejection. There were seasons when you assumed closed doors meant I had forgotten your name. But what you could not see was that I was protecting you from paths that would have wounded your spirit. Some opportunities disappeared because they were never meant to define your future. Some relationships faded because they could not accompany you into the place I am preparing for you. Some disappointments became your shield, even though they looked like defeat. Today, I want you to release one burden that has followed you for far too long. Stop carrying the responsibility of trying to control everything. You were never created to know every answer before taking the next step. Faith grows when you choose to trust me before you understand me. Peace begins when you stop demanding explanations for every delay and start believing that my wisdom reaches farther than your sight. My child, I have not measured your worth by your failures. I have not defined your future by your weakest moments. The voice that continually reminds you of your past is not my voice. The fear that tells you you are beyond restoration did not come from me. I speak life where others speak defeat. I bring hope where despair has tried to make its home. I restore what people believed could never be restored. Look carefully at your life. Even in your hardest seasons, you are still standing. Think about everything that tried to break you. Think about every disappointment that claimed it would be your ending. Yet here you are, breathing, searching, believing that there must be something greater ahead. That quiet desire inside your heart did not appear by chance. I placed it there. It is my reminder that your story is not over. Do not confuse waiting with abandonment. A seed buried beneath the soil may appear forgotten, but hidden beneath the surface, life is forming. In the same way, while you believed nothing was happening, I was strengthening your character, increasing your endurance, teaching you wisdom, and preparing blessings that required a stronger version of you to receive them. Growth often happens where human eyes cannot see it. Some of you have asked me the same question again and again. Why has this season lasted so long? Here, my answer today. The length of the journey has never changed the certainty of my promise. Time does not weaken my power. Delays do not erase my purpose. What I begin, I complete in the right season. Do not measure my faithfulness by your calendar. Measure it by my unchanging character. You have spent too much time listening to voices that magnify fear. Today, I invite you to listen differently. When anxiety tells you the future is uncertain, remember that I already stand in your tomorrow. When regret tells you that you wasted too many years, remember that I redeem time. When loneliness whispers that you walk alone, remember that I have never taken my hand away from yours. From this day forward, choose to guard your heart. Fill your thoughts with my truth instead of every fearful possibility. Begin each morning with gratitude before you face your responsibilities. Open my word, not as a duty, but as a conversation with me. Speak hope over your family instead of repeating everything that is wrong. Forgive more quickly. Pray more honestly. Trust more deeply. These simple steps will transform the atmosphere of your life because they align your heart with mine. I am calling you to make a decision today. Decide whether you will continue living under the weight of yesterday or whether you will step into the freedom I offer. Decide whether fear will continue directing your choices or whether faith will become your guide. Decide whether disappointment will become your identity or whether my love will define who you are. Every lasting transformation begins with one sincere decision. As you continue listening, keep your heart open because each part of this message is building upon the previous one. Do not leave before the end, because I want to reveal truths that will strengthen your faith, renew your hope, and help you recognize my guidance in ways you may never have noticed before. If these words have already touched your heart, write, "I choose you," in the comments as your personal declaration of faith today. Let your testimony encourage someone else who may be reading beside you. And if this message has blessed you, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs encouragement today. If you feel led to help this ministry continue reaching hearts around the world, you can support it through the link provided below. Your kindness allows this message of hope to reach those who may be praying for exactly these words. Stay with me until the very end, because what I will reveal next will help you understand why this season has been preparing you for something far greater than you have imagined. Before you move forward, I want you to slow your thoughts once again, because what I am about to reveal will help you understand why so many battles have surrounded your life. Too often, you have looked at your circumstances and believed they were the complete story. You measured my presence by what you could see with your eyes. When doors closed, you questioned whether I was still leading you. When prayers seemed delayed, you wondered whether I had stopped listening. When people walked away, you wondered whether even I had abandoned you. But today, I want you to look beyond what is visible. There is always more happening than your natural senses can understand. Every morning you wake up, there is a choice waiting before you. You can allow fear to become the loudest voice in your heart, or you can allow my truth to become your foundation. Fear always rushes ahead, imagining disasters that have not happened. Faith walks beside me one step at a time, trusting that I already know the road ahead. Which voice has been shaping your decisions? Which voice has been influencing your peace? I ask these questions not to condemn you, but to awaken you. Awareness is often the beginning of transformation. There were moments when disappointment convinced you to lower your expectations. You stopped praying boldly because previous prayers seemed unanswered. You stopped dreaming because disappointment whispered that hope only leads to heartbreak. Yet even while your expectations became smaller, my plans for you never changed. I do not reduce my purpose because your confidence has grown weak. I remain faithful even when your strength feels exhausted. My promises are not sustained by your emotions. They are sustained by my character, which never changes. Many times I answered prayers in ways you fail to recognize. You asked me to remove every obstacle, but I gave you wisdom to overcome them instead. You asked for an easier path, but I strengthened your heart to walk through difficult places without losing your faith. You prayed for immediate relief, but I was building lasting maturity that would serve you for years to come. Looking back, you will discover that what felt like silence was often my greatest preparation. My child, stop believing that your weaknesses disqualify you from my purpose. The world celebrates perfection, but I work through surrendered hearts. I have always chosen ordinary people willing to trust me more than extraordinary people who trusted only themselves. Remember that courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is choosing obedience while fear still whispers. Every step you take in faith weakens the grip that anxiety tries to keep upon your life. I know there are questions hidden inside your heart that you have not spoken aloud. You wonder whether your family will ever experience peace again. You wonder whether the financial burden will finally become lighter. You wonder whether your health will improve, whether broken relationships can heal, whether opportunities will return, whether joy can truly replace the heaviness you have carried for so long. Listen carefully. Do not allow temporary circumstances to define eternal truth. Situations change, seasons change, human opinions change, but my love for you remains constant through every chapter. Guard your thoughts carefully, because every battle begins there. Long before fear controls your actions, it first attempts to influence your thinking. Long before discouragement steals your strength, it first whispers that nothing will ever improve. Reject those lies the moment they appear. Replace them with truth. Tell yourself that I am still working. Tell yourself that I am still opening doors no one else can open. Tell yourself that I can create opportunities where none seem to exist. What you repeatedly believe will eventually shape the direction of your life. Do not compare your journey with someone else's. Their assignment is different from yours. Their timing is different from yours. Their preparation is different from yours. Comparison only blinds you to the blessings already surrounding your own path. Instead of asking why someone else seems to be moving faster, ask me what lesson I want you to learn today. Growth becomes beautiful when you stop racing against other people and begin walking faithfully with me. There is another truth I want you to carry into every new day. Forgiveness is freedom. Some of the weight you have carried did not come from your own failures, but from refusing to release those who hurt you. Forgiveness does not excuse what happened. It does not pretend the pain was small. It simply refuses to allow yesterday's wounds to continue controlling tomorrow's joy. As you release others into my hands, I begin healing places inside your heart that no human effort could ever reach. Practice gratitude even before circumstances improve. Thank me while you are still waiting. Praise me before you receive the answer. Worship is not only a response to blessings, it is also an expression of trust during uncertainty. When gratitude fills your heart, fear begins losing its influence. When worship becomes your habit, hope grows stronger than despair. As you continue listening to this message, remain expectant, because I am building your faith, one truth at a time. Do not stop halfway through the journey. There are answers still waiting for you, encouragement still ahead, and wisdom that will strengthen your walk with me. Stay until the end, because every part is preparing your heart for what comes next. If you are choosing today to trust me more than your fears, declare, I will walk by faith in the comments. Let those words become your reminder. Every time doubt tries to return, stand firm, keep listening, and allow these truths to become part of your everyday life, for the path ahead is brighter than the one behind you. There is something I want you to understand before you take another step. The greatest battles in your life have never been designed simply to exhaust your body. They have been aimed at discouraging your heart. If discouragement can take root, it slowly begins to influence every decision you make. It whispers that nothing will ever change. It convinces you to expect disappointment before hope has a chance to grow. It tells you to settle for survival instead of believing that I created you to live with purpose. Today, I am inviting you to reject that voice completely, because it has never spoken on my behalf. Think back over your life for a moment. There were seasons when you believed everything was falling apart, yet later you discovered that those very moments redirected you toward something better. What looked like loss became protection. What appeared to be delay became preparation. What felt like rejection became the doorway to greater peace. If I have faithfully guided you through every previous season, why should this one be different? The same hands that carried you before are carrying you now, even if you cannot yet see the destination. Many people spend their lives searching for certainty in circumstances that constantly change. But I am calling you to build your confidence somewhere far more secure. Place your confidence in me, not in temporary situations. Careers may change. Relationships may change. Economies may change. Human promises may fail, but I remain faithful through every generation. My truth is not rewritten by changing opinions. My love is not weakened by your disappointments. My plans are not canceled because unexpected difficulties appear along your journey. My child, stop measuring your future by your current condition. A gardener never judges the harvest by looking only at the seed. The beginning rarely resembles the ending. What I have planted inside you is still growing. There are gifts within you that have not fully awakened. There is courage within you that has not yet been tested. There is wisdom I am developing that will become a blessing not only for you, but also for many people whose lives you will touch. Never underestimate what I can accomplish through one surrendered heart. I know there are moments when you become frustrated because progress feels slow. You ask why change does not happen overnight. Listen carefully. Lasting transformation is rarely instant. I could remove every challenge from your path in a single moment, yet there are lessons that can only be learned by walking with me daily. Patience strengthens your character. Faith deepens through perseverance. Compassion grows when you remember your own struggles. Every season has a purpose, and every purpose is shaping you into someone capable of carrying greater blessings with humility. Do not become distracted by voices that fill your mind with fear and confusion. The world is full of noise competing for your attention. Some voices encourage anxiety, others encourage anger, division, or hopelessness. If you continually fill your heart with fear, fear will eventually influence your choices. But when you continually fill your heart with my truth, peace begins to govern your decisions. Be careful about what you allow into your mind each day. The thoughts you repeatedly entertain eventually become the direction of your life. I also want you to remember the power of quiet obedience. Not every victory will be celebrated by crowds. Some of your greatest moments of faith will happen when no one else is watching. When you choose honesty while no one would notice dishonesty, I see it. When you forgive instead of seeking revenge, I see it. When you pray instead of complaining, I see it. When you continue trusting me after another disappointment, I see it. Never believe that hidden faithfulness goes unnoticed. I honor what others overlook. There are people praying for miracles while ignoring the opportunities already placed before them. Do not overlook today's assignment because you are focused only on tomorrow's breakthrough. Love the people around you today. Speak words that build others instead of tearing them down. Be generous with kindness. Extend grace where you can. Every act of obedience prepares your heart for the greater responsibilities that lie ahead. Those who are faithful in small things become ready for greater things. I want you to replace one habit beginning today. Instead of starting every morning by remembering your worries, begin by remembering my goodness. Before you think about the challenges waiting for you, thank me for the breath in your lungs, the strength to rise again, and another opportunity to walk with me. Gratitude changes the atmosphere of your heart. It reminds you that I have already been faithful thousands of times before today's problems even arrived. Do not be discouraged if progress seems invisible. Roots grow long before fruit appears. Foundations are laid before buildings rise. Preparation happens before promotion. The work I am doing inside your heart is far more valuable than temporary success, because inner transformation creates lasting peace that no circumstance can steal. Continue trusting even when evidence seems small. Continue believing even when answers appear delayed. Continue walking even when the road feels long. Every faithful step brings you closer to the purpose I have prepared for you. Stay with me through every part of this message because I am revealing these truths in the order your heart needs them. By the time you reach the end, you will understand your present season with greater clarity and stronger faith than when you first began listening. If you are choosing today to leave discouragement behind and trust my direction, write, "I trust your timing," in the comments. Let those words become more than a sentence. Let them become the decision that shapes how you walk from this day forward. I am not finished with your story, and the chapters ahead will reveal that my faithfulness has been surrounding you all along. I want to bring your attention to something that has quietly shaped many of your decisions without you even realizing it. Too often, you have believed that your future depends entirely on your own strength. You have carried responsibilities that were never meant to rest upon your shoulders alone. You have tried to solve every problem before asking for my wisdom. You have exhausted yourself searching for answers while forgetting that I have always been the source of true direction. Today I am asking you to release that burden. You do not have to carry tomorrow before tomorrow arrives. You only need enough grace for the step that is in front of you, and I promise that I will provide it every single day. Have you noticed how quickly fear tries to speak whenever a new challenge appears? Before you even have time to pray, fear begins creating stories about what might happen. It imagines failure before you have taken the first step. It predicts loss before the battle has even begun. It magnifies uncertainty until it seems larger than my promises. But I ask you this today. How many of the fears that once kept you awake actually came to pass? Many never happened at all, yet they still stole your peace because you gave them space inside your heart. From this day forward, do not allow imagined problems to rob you of today's blessings. There are people around you who may never understand the work I am doing within you. Some will misunderstand your decisions. Others may question your faith. Some may even distance themselves because your desire to walk with me reminds them of what they have ignored in their own lives. Do not become discouraged by this. Your purpose has never depended on universal approval. If you spend your life trying to satisfy everyone, you will eventually lose sight of the one whose approval truly matters. Walk with integrity. Walk with humility. Walk with love. Let your life become a testimony that speaks louder than arguments ever could. My child, there are blessings I have prepared for you that cannot be received while your hands remain tightly closed around fear, bitterness, regret, or control. Open your heart. Release what has become too heavy. Forgive those who wounded you, not because they deserved it, but because I desire your freedom more than your resentment. Lay your disappointments before me, instead of carrying them into every new season. Every burden you surrender creates room for my peace to take its place. You have often prayed for open doors, but remember that wisdom is just as important as opportunity. Not every invitation deserves your attention. Not every path leads toward my purpose. Some doors appear attractive, but hide unnecessary pain. Others seem ordinary, yet lead directly toward the future I have prepared for you. This is why you must seek my guidance before making decisions. Do not rush because others are moving quickly. Do not compare your timing with theirs. I know which opportunities will strengthen you and which ones will distract you. Trust my direction, even when it requires patience. I also want you to understand the value of consistency. Many people desire extraordinary results while neglecting ordinary faithfulness. Great character is built through daily choices that seem small at the time. Every sincere prayer matters. Every act of kindness matters. Every moment you choose honesty over compromise matters. Every time you open my word with a willing heart, you are allowing my truth to shape your thinking. These quiet moments become the foundation of a life that remains strong when storms arrive. Do not let temporary disappointment convince you that your prayers have accomplished nothing. Seeds grow beneath the surface long before anyone sees the first sign of life. In the same way, my answers often begin working long before visible change appears. Continue praying with expectation. Continue believing with confidence. Continue thanking me, even before you hold the answer in your hands. Faith is not pretending that difficulties do not exist. Faith is trusting that I remain greater than every difficulty you face. There is another lesson I want you to embrace. Guard your words carefully. What you repeatedly speak influences your heart. If your lips continually declare defeat, discouragement will grow stronger. But when you speak hope, gratitude, forgiveness, and truth, you begin aligning your thoughts with my promises. Speak life over your family. Speak blessing over your future. Speak faith instead of fear. Your words cannot replace my power, but they can reveal whether your heart is trusting my power. As you continue this journey with me, remember that I am shaping more than your circumstances. I am shaping your character. Success without humility can destroy a person. Blessings without wisdom can become burdens. Influence without compassion becomes empty. That is why I care so deeply about the condition of your heart. I desire not only to bless you, but also to make you a blessing for others. The people around you need hope. They need encouragement. They need someone who reflects my love through both words and actions. Let your life become that light. Do not stop listening now, because each truth I share is preparing you for the next. There is still more I want to reveal about the strength I have already placed within you, the purpose that is unfolding before you, and the peace that no circumstance can take away. Remain with me until the very end of this message, because I am building your faith one step at a time, and every part will help you walk with greater confidence than before. If your heart is ready to place every burden into my hands today, write, "I surrender it all," in the comments. Let those words become your prayer and your decision. Do not return to carrying what you have already entrusted to me. Walk forward with confidence, knowing that I am leading you, strengthening you, and preparing you for greater things than you can presently imagine. Listen closely, because what I am about to tell you may change the way you see every challenge that has ever stood in front of you. You have often believed that your greatest enemy was the difficulty you could see. You thought it was the financial pressure, the broken relationship, the unanswered prayer, the doctor's report, the rejection, or the uncertainty about tomorrow. But many times the greatest battle was happening within your own heart. It was the quiet temptation to stop believing. It was the subtle invitation to lower your expectations. It was the constant whisper that nothing would ever improve. That whisper did not come from me. I have never called you to live without hope. I have never asked you to surrender your faith to fear. I have always called you to keep your eyes on me, even when the waves around you seem determined to convince you otherwise. I know there have been mornings when you woke up, already exhausted before the day had even begun. Your body rose from the bed, but your heart still carried the weight of yesterday. You smiled because you felt you had to. You kept moving because others depended on you. You continued fulfilling responsibilities while silently wondering how much longer you could keep going. Yet every step you took, I was beside you. Every breath you drew was sustained by my mercy. Every time you thought you had reached your limit, I quietly supplied strength you did not realize was coming from me. If I had removed my hand from your life for even one moment, you would not have made it this far. The very fact that you are still standing is evidence that my grace has never stopped surrounding you. My child, stop believing that you have to earn my love by becoming perfect. I loved you before you learned how to pray. I loved you before you understood my word. I loved you during your victories, and I remained beside you through every failure. My love is not a reward for flawless behavior. It is the foundation upon which I transform your life. Come to me honestly. Bring your questions. Bring your fears. Bring your weaknesses. Do not wait until you think you have everything together. If you wait for perfection, you will spend your entire life standing outside the door I have already opened for you. There are times when you ask me why certain doors remain closed. You only saw the disappointment, but I saw the danger beyond those doors. You saw an opportunity slipping away, while I saw pain that would have delayed your purpose. Trust that I never withhold good things to punish you. I protect you because I see what lies beyond the horizon that your eyes cannot yet reach. One day you will look back and thank me for the prayers I answered differently than you expected. You will realize that my wisdom was guiding you even when my answers seemed difficult to understand. Do not become discouraged because someone else's journey appears easier than yours. Every life carries battles that remain hidden from public view. The smiles you admire often conceal tears no one else has seen. Instead of comparing your path, thank me for the unique story I am writing through your life. I know exactly what experiences will strengthen your faith, deepen your compassion, and prepare you to help others who will one day walk through similar valleys. Nothing you have endured has been meaningless. Even your greatest struggles are becoming part of the testimony that will encourage someone else to keep believing. Remember this: whenever discouragement tries to return, darkness always appears strongest just before the first light begins to rise. A long night does not cancel the certainty of morning. In the same way, your present circumstances do not have the authority to cancel my plans. I am still opening doors you cannot yet see. I am still arranging conversations that will encourage you. I am still placing people along your path who will strengthen your faith. I am still working behind scenes where human eyes cannot follow. Never mistake unseen work for absent work. I also want you to guard your heart against bitterness. Bitterness promises protection, but quietly steals joy. It convinces you that holding on to old wounds will somehow keep you safe from future pain. Instead, it builds invisible walls that keep healing from entering. Release those wounds into my hands. Let me carry what has become too heavy for you. Forgiveness may not erase yesterday, but it frees your heart to embrace tomorrow. Do not allow old pain to become a permanent address for your soul. As you continue walking with me, learn to celebrate small victories. Every temptation you resist is progress. Every prayer you whisper is progress. Every act of kindness, every moment of patience, every decision to trust instead of panic is evidence that I am shaping your character. Do not overlook these moments because they seem ordinary. Great faith is built through countless ordinary acts of obedience repeated day after day. There is still much I desire to reveal to you. The message is unfolding one step at a time, because I want these truths to settle deeply within your heart instead of passing quickly through your mind. Stay with me until the very end. The deeper you listen, the more clearly you will recognize how I have been guiding your life, even through seasons that once seemed confusing. If these words have strengthened your spirit today, declare, "Your grace is enough for me," in the comments. Let that declaration remind you that my strength will always be greater than your weakness. And if this message is encouraging your heart, consider sharing it with someone who may be silently carrying burdens of their own. If you have been blessed by this ministry and feel led to help it continue reaching others with hope, you can support it through the link provided below. Your generosity becomes part of the encouragement that reaches lives you may never meet this side of eternity. Keep listening, because what I am about to reveal next will help you understand why the season ahead requires greater faith than ever before, and why you are already being prepared for it. Do not let your heart become restless while you are waiting for answers. I know how difficult it is to remain patient when you cannot see what is happening beyond your present circumstances. I know there have been days when you looked around and wondered why everyone else seemed to be moving forward while you felt as though you were standing still. You questioned whether you had missed an opportunity or made a mistake that permanently changed your future. You replayed old conversations in your mind. You examined old decisions, hoping to discover where everything began to change. But today, I want you to stop searching through yesterday for answers that can only be found by trusting me today. There is a reason I do not reveal every detail of your future all at once. If I showed you everything ahead, you might depend on information instead of depending on me. You might place your confidence in knowing the destination rather than walking faithfully with the one who leads you there. Faith has never been about seeing the entire journey. Faith has always been about taking the next step with confidence, because you know my character. When you truly trust me, you no longer need every answer before moving forward. You discover that my presence is greater than perfect understanding. My child, there are moments when I deliberately slow your pace because I care more about your character than your comfort. You have prayed for greater influence, but influence without humility becomes dangerous. You have prayed for greater blessings, but blessings without wisdom can become burdens. You have prayed for open doors, but open doors without spiritual maturity can lead you into places you are not yet prepared to handle. That is why I sometimes teach you through waiting. Waiting is not punishment. Waiting is preparation. While you thought nothing was changing, I was strengthening your heart for the season you have been praying to enter. You often ask me to remove every mountain from your path, but sometimes I teach you to climb instead. The mountain builds endurance. The climb develops perseverance. The struggle reveals strength that you never knew existed within you. If every obstacle disappeared immediately, you would never discover how much I have already placed inside you. I have given you courage that grows stronger every time you choose faith over fear. I have placed wisdom within you that becomes clearer every time you seek my guidance. I have surrounded you with grace that carries you farther than your own strength ever could. I also want you to understand something about peace. Many people believe peace comes only after every problem has been solved. But the peace I give is different. My peace remains even when questions remain unanswered. My peace stands firm even while storms continue around you. It is not built upon changing circumstances, but upon my unchanging presence. This is why people may look at your life and wonder how you continue moving forward despite everything you have faced. The answer is not that your life has been free from difficulties. The answer is that I have been walking beside you through every one of them. Stop allowing fear to become your first response whenever unexpected news arrives. Before panic fills your thoughts, pause and remember who I am. Before anxiety begins creating stories about tomorrow, remember how many times I have already provided for you. Before doubt convinces you that this situation is impossible, remember that I specialize in making a way where none appears to exist. Your history with me is filled with reminders of my faithfulness. Do not let one difficult season erase the evidence of countless times I have carried you before. There are blessings surrounding your life today that you have become too familiar to notice. The breath in your lungs is a gift. The opportunity to begin again is a gift. The people who continue loving you are gifts. The lessons you have learned through hardship are gifts. Even the strength that enables you to continue listening to these words is a gift from me. Gratitude changes the way you see your life. Instead of focusing only on what you are still waiting to receive, begin thanking me for what I have already placed into your hands. A grateful heart becomes fertile ground where hope continues to grow. Do not forget that the way you treat others during your own struggles reveals the condition of your heart. It is easy to become consumed by personal burdens, but I am calling you to remain compassionate. Encourage someone who feels forgotten. Pray for someone who has lost hope. Forgive someone who never expected your kindness. Speak words that build people instead of breaking them. The mercy you extend often becomes the very mercy that strengthens your own soul. As you become a source of encouragement, you will discover that I am continually refreshing your spirit as well. Continue filling your mind with truth instead of fear. Read my word with expectation instead of obligation. Pray honestly instead of trying to impress me with perfect words. Worship me not only after victories, but also in the middle of uncertainty. Every one of these choices strengthens your relationship with me. They transform your thinking, deepen your faith, and prepare you for the responsibilities that are approaching faster than you realize. Remain with me through every remaining part of this message, because I am not simply encouraging you, I am preparing you. The days ahead will require discernment, courage, patience, and unwavering trust. By the time you reach the end, you will understand why every lesson I have shared has been leading you toward greater spiritual strength. If you are choosing today to trust my guidance, even when you cannot see the entire path, write, "I will follow you" in the comments. Let those words become your daily decision. If this message has encouraged your heart and strengthened your faith, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, and if you feel blessed by these words, consider supporting this ministry through the link provided below. Your generosity helps this message continue reaching people who are searching for light in difficult seasons. Stay with me, because what I am about to reveal next will help you recognize the quiet ways I have been preparing you for the new season that is drawing near. I want you to pay close attention, because the next truth I am about to place in your heart will become a source of strength in the days ahead. There are seasons when everything around you appears uncertain. Plans change unexpectedly. People make promises they cannot keep. Doors that once seemed open suddenly close. News arrives that you never anticipated. In those moments, your natural instinct is to search for something that cannot be shaken. That is why I have always invited you to build your life upon me instead of upon circumstances. Everything around you may change, but I remain the same yesterday, today, and forever. When your foundation is secure, the storm may shake the house, but it cannot destroy it. Think about how many times you believed you had reached the end of your strength. You said to yourself, "I cannot carry this any longer." Yet somehow another day began, and you found enough strength to continue. That strength did not appear by accident. I was quietly sustaining you. Even when you did not recognize my hand, it was supporting you. Even when your prayers became nothing more than tears, I understood every unspoken word. I hear what your lips cannot express. I understand what your heart struggles to explain. My child, I know there are questions you have carried for a long time. You have wondered why certain dreams were delayed. You have wondered why some prayers seemed to remain unanswered, while others received immediate answers. You have wondered why people you loved walked away while those who caused pain appeared to prosper. Do not allow these questions to steal your confidence in my goodness. You are looking at one chapter, but I see the entire story. You are measuring moments, while I am preparing an eternal purpose. Trust me with the pages you cannot yet read. Do not allow disappointment to convince you that I have become silent. Silence does not mean absence. Consider the roots of a mighty tree. They grow quietly beneath the ground where no one applauds them. Yet without those hidden roots, the tree could never withstand powerful winds. In the same way, I have been strengthening the unseen places of your life. I have been building deeper faith, stronger character, greater compassion, and lasting endurance. The world celebrates visible success, but I first establish invisible strength. There is another lesson I want you to carry into every conversation, every decision, and every relationship. Be careful not to allow offense to become your companion. People will misunderstand you. Some will judge your motives without knowing your heart. Others may speak words that wound you deeply. Do not repay hurt with hurt. Respond with wisdom instead of anger. Respond with patience instead of revenge. Respond with love instead of bitterness. When you place justice into my hands, you free your own heart to continue walking in peace. Remember, your peace is too valuable to surrender to someone else's actions. You have prayed for greater purpose, and I have heard every one of those prayers. But purpose is not discovered by chasing recognition. Purpose is discovered by faithfully serving wherever I have placed you today. Love your family well. Be honest in your work. Encourage those who feel forgotten. Pray even when no one knows you are praying. These simple acts of obedience may appear small, but they are preparing you for greater assignments. Those who remain faithful in ordinary moments become ready for extraordinary opportunities. Do not underestimate the power of consistency. One prayer may seem small, but daily prayer transforms a heart. One act of forgiveness may seem difficult, but repeated forgiveness creates freedom. One decision to trust me today may seem ordinary, but thousands of faithful decisions shape a life filled with peace. You do not become spiritually strong through one dramatic moment alone. You become strong by choosing me again and again, especially on the ordinary days when no one else is watching. I also want you to stop speaking against yourself. Too often, you repeat words that I have never spoken about you. You call yourself defeated when I call you strengthened. You call yourself forgotten when I call you chosen. You call yourself unworthy when I call you loved. Be careful that your own voice does not become the loudest source of discouragement in your life. Speak according to my truth instead of your fears. Let your thoughts be renewed by my word rather than shaped by temporary emotions. As this message continues, I am inviting you to practice something every day. Before you make your first important decision each morning, pause and ask me for wisdom. Before you react to unexpected news, ask me for peace. Before you speak words you may later regret, ask me for patience. This simple habit will transform the direction of your life more than you realize. A heart that continually seeks my guidance becomes a heart that walks confidently, even when the future remains unseen. Stay with me until the very end of this journey, because every part is leading you toward a deeper understanding of my love, my wisdom, and my purpose for your life. I am not merely giving you encouraging words. I am teaching you how to live with enduring faith that remains steady in every season. If today you are choosing to trust my wisdom above your own understanding, write "your way is better" in the comments. Let those words become a daily reminder that my plans are higher than your plans, and my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. Continue listening with an open heart, because what I will reveal next will help you recognize the opportunities I have already begun placing before you, even if they have not yet become fully visible. Be still for another moment, because I want to speak to the place within your heart that no one else can see. Others may recognize your smile, admire your strength, or praise your perseverance, but I know the hidden questions you carry when no one is around. I know the conversations you have with yourself in the quiet hours. I know the worries that return before the sun rises. I know the moments when you wonder if you are making the right decisions. I know the burden of trying to remain strong while secretly longing for someone to remind you that you do not have to carry everything alone. That reminder is what I am giving you today. You have never been alone, not for a single moment. Even when you could not recognize my presence, I was walking beside you, arranging circumstances, protecting you from dangers you never saw, and preparing answers before you even knew what questions you would ask. Many people believe that my greatest work happens only through dramatic miracles. But I want you to understand that some of my most beautiful works happen quietly. They happen when I soften a hardened heart. They happen when I restore hope to someone who is ready to give up. They happen when I replace fear with peace, one decision at a time. They happen when I strengthen a weary soul enough to take one more faithful step. Never underestimate what I am doing, simply because it does not happen with loud announcements. Some of the greatest victories begin in silence before they are ever seen in public. My child, I want you to stop allowing yesterday to introduce itself every morning. Too often, you wake up remembering old disappointments before remembering my faithfulness. You replay conversations that wounded you instead of recalling the countless ways I have carried you. You expect another difficult day before you have even given me the opportunity to fill it with unexpected grace. Change this pattern beginning today. When you open your eyes each morning, thank me before you think about your problems. Speak gratitude before fear has the chance to speak doubt. The atmosphere of your heart changes when thanksgiving becomes your first response instead of anxiety. There are opportunities approaching your life that require a different mindset than the one you have carried through previous seasons. If you continue believing you are defeated, you will overlook the doors I open. If you continue expecting failure, You may hesitate when I ask you to move forward. I do not want fear to steal what I have prepared for you. That is why I have been teaching you to trust me before the opportunity arrives. Preparation always comes before promotion. Character always comes before greater responsibility. I am not delaying your future to frustrate you. I am preparing you so that when the blessing arrives, you will have the wisdom to steward it faithfully. Do not be discouraged when you cannot see immediate results from your obedience. A farmer does not plant a seed and expect a harvest the following morning. Growth follows seasons that require patience, care, and consistency. In the same way, every prayer you offer, every act of forgiveness, every choice to obey me, every moment you refuse to surrender to fear is becoming part of a harvest that is still growing beneath the surface. Keep planting faith. Keep watering hope. Keep believing that what I have begun will reach completion in the perfect time. I also want to speak to those moments when you feel overlooked. There have been times when you believed your efforts were unnoticed. You served quietly. You loved faithfully. You gave generously. You encouraged others while carrying your own burdens. You wondered if anyone appreciated what you were doing. Hear me clearly. I noticed every act of faithfulness. I saw every sacrifice made with a sincere heart. Nothing offered in love is ever wasted in my kingdom. Even when people forget, I remember. Even when the world overlooks your kindness, I keep a record of every faithful step. Do not allow impatience to rob you of peace. The enemy often tries to convince you that if something has not happened yet, it never will. But have I not surprised you before? Have I not opened doors when you believed every opportunity had disappeared? Have I not provided strength after you thought you had reached your limit? My faithfulness did not end in your past, and it will not end in your future. Continue expecting my goodness. Continue believing that I am working in ways you cannot yet measure. Protect your heart from becoming overwhelmed by the endless noise surrounding you. Every day, voices compete for your attention. Some encourage fear. Others encourage anger, confusion, or hopelessness. Make room for my voice above them all. Spend time with me before you spend time with the world's distractions. Read my words slowly. Pray honestly. Sit quietly in my presence. You will begin to notice that the more time you spend with me, the less power fear has over your thoughts. Peace grows wherever my presence is welcomed. As you move through this season, remember that I have not called you simply to survive. I have called you to become a light for others. Someone is watching how you respond to hardship. Someone is learning about faith by observing your perseverance. Someone who has almost given up may discover hope because you chose to trust me instead of surrendering to despair. Never believe your life affects only you. The courage you demonstrate today may become someone else's reason for believing tomorrow. Stay with me through every remaining part of this message. Do not stop now, because each truth is building upon the one before it. I am leading you toward a deeper understanding of my purpose, my timing, and my unfailing love. By the time you reach the final words, I want your heart to stand stronger than it did when you first began listening. If your heart is ready to leave the past behind and embrace the future I am preparing, write, "I receive your peace" in the comments. Let those words become your declaration today. Hold firmly to hope. Continue walking with confidence and keep your eyes upon me, because what I will reveal next will help you recognize the new opportunities that are already beginning to unfold before your eyes. Do not allow your heart to become distracted now, because there is something I have been patiently preparing you to understand. For a long time, you believed that every delay was working against you. You looked at the passing days and wondered whether you had somehow fallen behind. You watched other people celebrate milestones while you quietly questioned whether your own season would ever change. Some mornings you smiled on the outside while silently asking, "Lord, when will it be my turn?" I heard that question every single time. I never ignored it. I never dismissed it. Even when my answer was not immediate, my attention never left you. I have been leading you through a path that required preparation before promotion, wisdom before increase, and humility before influence. What seemed like slow progress was actually steady growth that could not be rushed. There is something I want you to remember whenever impatience begins knocking at the door of your heart. I do not measure your life the way the world measures it. The world celebrates speed, but I value faithfulness. The world rewards appearance, but I examine the heart. The world tells you that success must happen quickly, but I know that what grows too fast often lacks the roots necessary to endure life's storms. That is why I have been strengthening your foundation. I have been teaching you to trust me when no one applauds you, to obey me when no one notices, and to remain faithful even when immediate results cannot be seen. Those hidden victories are preparing you for blessings that will last far beyond temporary applause. My child, stop questioning whether you are enough for the assignment I have placed before you. I have never called someone because they possessed every ability on their own. I call those who are willing to depend on me. Moses believed he could not speak well enough. Gideon believed he was too insignificant. David was overlooked by others. Peter carried many imperfections. Yet I worked through each one because they eventually trusted my strength more than their own limitations. The same truth applies to your life. Your weaknesses do not surprise me. They never have. What I ask from you is not perfection, but surrender. When you place your life into my hands, I become the one who supplies what you cannot provide by yourself. There are blessings already moving toward you that you cannot yet recognize. Some are arriving through opportunities that appear ordinary. Others are coming through conversations you almost considered unimportant. Some will come through people you have not even met yet. This is why I ask you to remain attentive. Live each day with expectation instead of assumption. Speak to others with kindness, because you do not know how I may use that conversation. Walk through every open door prayerfully, because I may be guiding your steps in ways that only become clear later. Do not underestimate today's ordinary moments. They often become tomorrow's testimonies. You have spent too much time carrying regret over decisions that cannot be changed. Regret has a way of convincing you to remain standing at doors that have already closed. But I am calling you to face forward. Learn from yesterday, but do not live there. Receive wisdom from past mistakes, but refuse to become imprisoned by them. My mercy is new every morning, because I know you need fresh grace for each new day. If I have chosen not to define you by your past, then stop allowing your past to define you. Walk forward with confidence, knowing that my forgiveness is complete and my purpose for your life remains intact. I also want you to become careful about the conversations you repeatedly have with yourself. Too often you speak words over your own life that I have never spoken. You tell yourself that you always fail. You convince yourself that nothing will improve. You assume doors will remain closed before you even knock. Replace those thoughts with my truth. Tell yourself that I am still working. Remind yourself that my plans have not changed. Declare that my grace is sufficient for every challenge you face. When your thinking begins to align with my truth, your heart will begin to experience a peace that circumstances cannot steal. There will always be voices competing for your attention. Some will tell you to compromise your values for temporary success. Others will encourage you to seek approval from people instead of seeking my direction. Do not follow every voice simply because it speaks loudly. Learn to recognize my voice through time spent with me. The more you fill your heart with my word, the easier it becomes to recognize truth when confusion surrounds you. Discernment is not developed overnight. It grows through daily fellowship with me, one faithful decision after another. Do not forget that the people around you are fighting battles you cannot see. Before you respond with impatience, choose compassion. Before you judge someone harshly, remember how often I have shown mercy to you. Be generous with encouragement. Speak hope where others expect criticism. Pray for those who cannot yet pray for themselves. Your kindness may become the very answer to someone else's silent prayer. Every life you touch with love reflects my heart more clearly than you realize. As you continue listening, keep your spirit open, because the lessons I am giving you today are preparing you for tomorrow's opportunities. I am not simply comforting you through a difficult season. I am shaping you into someone who can encourage others, stand firmly during storms, and remain faithful regardless of changing circumstances. That kind of strength cannot be purchased. It is developed through walking with me one day at a time. Do not leave before this message is complete. Stay until the final part, because each truth builds upon the previous one. By the end of this journey, I want you to recognize not only what I have been doing around you, but what I have been transforming within you. The greatest miracle I desire is not merely changing your circumstances. It is changing your heart so completely that no future storm can steal the peace I have placed inside you. If today you choose to stop looking backward and begin walking confidently toward the future I have prepared, write, "I trust your plan completely," in the comments. Let those words become your declaration of faith. Hold on to them when uncertainty tries to return. Remember that I am already in the tomorrow you cannot yet see, and I am faithfully preparing every step that lies ahead. I want you to remain still for a little longer, because what I am about to place in your heart is something you will need not only today, but in every season that lies ahead. There are moments when you ask me why certain doors have remained closed for so long. You wonder if your prayers have somehow become trapped between earth and heaven. You question whether your voice has grown too weak for me to hear. But hear me clearly today. There has never been a single prayer offered with a sincere heart that escaped my attention. Every cry, every whispered request, every tear-filled conversation has reached me. I have never been distracted. I have never been too busy. I have never forgotten your name. Long before you finished praying, I already understood the burden you were trying to place into my hands. There have been seasons when you believed you were waiting on me. But I want you to understand that many times I was also waiting for something within you to grow. I was waiting for fear to lose its grip. I was waiting for wisdom to take deeper root. I was waiting for your confidence to rest more in my promises than in your circumstances. I was preparing you to receive what you had been asking for, without allowing it to become more important than your relationship with me. Never mistake preparation for rejection. The waiting season has always carried purpose, even when you could not immediately recognize it. My child, stop believing that your value rises and falls according to what you accomplish. You are not valuable because of your achievements. You are valuable because I created you with purpose. The world may judge people according to success, wealth, appearance, or recognition, but I look much deeper than that. I see the heart that continues trusting me after disappointment. I see the person who chooses honesty when compromise would be easier. I see the one who quietly encourages others while carrying personal burdens. Those are the treasures I value. Never allow temporary success to define your identity. And never allow temporary failure to convince you that you have lost mine. You have spent too much time worrying about tomorrow while overlooking the grace I have already provided for today. Anxiety constantly asks questions that have no answers yet. Fate chooses to trust before every answer becomes visible. I have never asked you to carry next month's burdens while living through today's responsibilities. I simply ask you to walk faithfully with me one step at a time. Tomorrow will receive its own grace when tomorrow arrives. Today, receive the strength I am already placing into your hands. There are people I am bringing into your life who will encourage your faith, strengthen your courage, and remind you of truths you have almost forgotten. But there are also relationships that cannot continue into the next season because they continually pull your attention away from me. Do not fear when certain connections begin to fade. Not every goodbye is a punishment. Sometimes it is protection. Sometimes it is preparation. Sometimes I lovingly remove what no longer fits the future I have planned for you. Trust me enough to release what I ask you to leave behind, because I never remove something without knowing how I intend to provide something better in its proper time. Guard your heart against becoming impatient with yourself. Growth is often slower than you expect, but far more beautiful than you imagine. Do not become discouraged because you still have weaknesses. Every day you choose to seek me is evidence that transformation is already taking place. You are not the same person you were a year ago. You have learned lessons that once seemed impossible. You have survived storms that once convinced you they would destroy you. Give thanks for the progress I have already accomplished within you, instead of focusing only on how far you still believe you have to go. Remember that gratitude has the power to change your perspective. When you thank me for what I have already done, your heart becomes more sensitive to what I am continuing to do. Gratitude opens your eyes to blessings that fear often hides. It reminds you that my faithfulness has been present throughout every chapter of your life. Even in your hardest seasons, there were moments of mercy you did not fully notice at the time. Looking back now, you can see how I carried you through days you thought would overwhelm you. The same faithfulness that sustained you then will sustain you now. Do not allow the opinions of others to determine how you see yourself. People may misunderstand your intentions. They may question your choices. They may even speak words that discourage your spirit. But remember this: those who see only your outward circumstances cannot fully understand the work I am accomplishing within your heart. Continue walking humbly. Continue loving faithfully. Continue obeying my voice. In time, your life will speak more powerfully than any explanation you could ever give. As you continue through this message, keep your heart open, because I am not only strengthening your faith, I am teaching you how to live with lasting peace. The peace I offer is not dependent upon perfect circumstances. It grows from confidence that I remain in control even when life feels uncertain. Hold tightly to that truth. It will become an anchor when unexpected storms arise. Do not stop listening now. The next part will reveal another important lesson that will help you recognize my guidance with greater clarity. I am leading you step by step because I desire not only to comfort you, but also to equip you for everything that lies ahead. By the time this message reaches its conclusion, I want your heart to stand with greater confidence, deeper faith, and stronger hope than ever before. If today you are choosing to release tomorrow into my hands and trust me with every unanswered question, write, "I rest in your hands," in the comments. Let that declaration become a reminder whenever worry tries to return. I am already working in ways you cannot yet see, arranging circumstances beyond your understanding and preparing blessings that will arrive at exactly the right time. Keep walking with me, because the best chapters of your journey are still being written. Remain with me a little longer, because there is something I have wanted to reveal to your heart for a very long time. Too often, you have judged your life by what is happening around you instead of by what I am accomplishing within you. You have looked at the size of the mountain and forgotten the greatness of the one who walks beside you. You have counted the obstacles while overlooking the countless ways I have already carried you through them. Today, I want your eyes to shift. I want you to stop measuring your future by your present struggle and begin measuring it by my faithfulness. If I have never failed you before, why would I begin now? The answer is simple. I will not. My character does not change with your circumstances. My love is not weakened by your doubts. My promises are not canceled because the road has become difficult. There were times when you believed you had reached the end of your strength. You quietly wondered how much longer you could continue carrying the responsibilities placed upon your shoulders. You looked at the demands before you and questioned whether you had enough wisdom, enough patience, enough endurance, or enough faith. Yet every day you continued moving forward. You may have walked slowly, but you kept walking. You may have cried while praying, but you kept praying. You may have stumbled, but you refuse to remain on the ground. Do you know why? Because my hand has never stopped holding yours. Even when your strength became small, my strength remained unlimited. Even when your hope flickered like a tiny flame, I protected it from being extinguished. My child, stop believing that your mistakes have the final word over your life. Many people spend years imprisoned by memories that I have already forgiven. They continue condemning themselves for failures I have already covered with mercy. They keep looking backward, while I continue calling them forward. Hear me carefully today. Repentance opens the door for restoration. I do not invite you into my presence so I can remind you of everything you have done wrong. I invite you into my presence so I can transform your heart, renew your mind, and restore your joy. Do not allow shame to keep you standing outside the very place where healing is waiting. There is another truth I want you to hold close. Not every battle is meant to be fought with your own effort. Some victories come only when you surrender them into my hands. You have spent too much energy trying to control situations that were never yours to control. You have tried to change hearts that only I can change. You have tried to force doors open that I deliberately kept closed. You have tried to solve tomorrow before living faithfully today. Release that burden. Trust me enough to believe that I can accomplish what your own strength never could. Surrender is not weakness. Surrender is faith, expressing complete confidence in my power. Do not overlook the quiet miracles that are already taking place around you. Every morning you wake with another opportunity to begin again is a miracle. Every prayer that strengthens your heart is a miracle. Every temptation you overcome is a miracle of my grace working within you. Every relationship restored, every burden lifted, every fearful thought replaced with peace is evidence that my spirit is still at work. Many people wait only for extraordinary signs while ignoring the daily evidence of my goodness. Open your eyes, and you will discover that my fingerprints have been present throughout your entire journey. I also want to remind you that patience is never wasted in my kingdom. You often desire immediate answers because waiting feels uncomfortable. But while you are waiting, I am shaping qualities within you that cannot be developed any other way. Patience teaches trust. Trust deepens faith. Faith produces endurance. Endurance prepares you to stand firm when greater responsibilities arrive. One day you will thank me not only for the blessings I gave you, but also for the seasons I asked you to wait. Those seasons protected you from receiving too much before your heart was ready to carry it. Guard your heart against becoming distracted by temporary disappointments. One difficult day does not define your destiny. One unanswered prayer does not erase my promises. One closed door does not mean every opportunity has disappeared. Keep your eyes on me, instead of focusing only on what seems delayed. I am able to accomplish more in one moment than human effort could accomplish in many years. When the right time arrives, what appeared impossible can change more quickly than you ever imagined. Until then, continue walking faithfully. Continue praying sincerely. Continue believing confidently. I am also calling you to become a source of encouragement for someone else. There are people near you who desperately need hope. Some are smiling while carrying hidden grief. Others appear strong while quietly fighting fear. Speak life into them. Listen patiently. Pray faithfully. Offer kindness without expecting anything in return. As you become a channel of my love, you will discover that your own heart grows stronger as well. The comfort you freely give often returns to strengthen you in unexpected ways. Do not leave this journey now. Stay until the final words, because each part has been preparing your heart for a greater understanding of my purpose. I am leading you step by step, not merely to encourage you for a moment, but to equip you for a lifetime of walking with confidence, peace, and unwavering faith. What lies ahead is not meant to frighten you. It is meant to reveal my faithfulness more clearly than ever before. If today you are choosing to place every burden, every regret, and every unanswered question into my hands, write, "I trust you completely," in the comments. Let those words become your declaration of faith whenever doubt tries to return. And if these messages continue to strengthen your heart and draw you closer to me, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and if you feel blessed by this ministry, consider supporting it through the link provided below. Your generosity helps this message reach hearts that are searching for peace, encouragement, and the assurance that they have never been forgotten. Continue with me, because the next part will reveal how I have been preparing you for a season of deeper faith and greater purpose than you have ever imagined. Do not become weary now, because I know there have been moments when you have wondered whether your strength would be enough for another day. I have seen the quiet battles that no one else has noticed. I have watched you continue to fulfill your responsibilities while carrying questions that remained hidden deep within your heart. Others saw your smile, but I saw the effort it took to wear it. Others heard your words, but I also heard the silent prayers that never escaped your lips. You have wondered if anyone truly understood the weight you have been carrying. I understand it completely, because I have walked beside you through every step, even during the moments when you believed you were walking alone. There are times when you have looked at your life and asked why certain doors remained closed, while others seemed to move ahead without delay. You questioned whether you had somehow missed my direction. You wondered if your mistakes had placed you outside my purpose. But I want you to hear me clearly today. My purpose for your life has never depended upon your perfection. It has always depended upon my faithfulness. I knew every weakness you would struggle with before I called you. I knew every fear you would battle before you were born. Nothing about your journey has surprised me, and nothing you face today has placed you beyond my ability to redeem. My child, there is something you must stop doing if you desire to walk in the peace I have prepared for you. Stop carrying guilt after you have already placed it into my hands. Stop reopening wounds that I have already begun healing. Stop allowing yesterday's failures to become tomorrow's identity. When I forgive, I do not hold your past against you. I invite you into a new beginning. Yet too often you continue punishing yourself for what I have already covered with mercy. Let today become the day you finally believe that my forgiveness is greater than your regrets. I have been teaching you lessons that cannot be learned through comfort alone. You have discovered compassion because you have experienced pain. You have learned patience because you have walked through waiting. You have grown in wisdom because you have made mistakes and allowed me to guide you afterward. Nothing you have endured has been wasted. Even the seasons you would gladly erase have become part of the testimony I am writing through your life. One day, you will encourage someone else with the very lessons you once wished you never had to learn. Do not underestimate the importance of remaining faithful in the ordinary moments. Many people wait for extraordinary opportunities while neglecting the daily assignments I have already placed before them. Speak kindly to your family. Be honest when dishonesty seems easier. Pray consistently even when emotions feel weak. Forgive quickly instead of allowing resentment to grow. Open my word each day with expectation instead of routine. These simple acts may appear small, but they are building a life that will remain steady when greater responsibilities arrive. I also want you to become careful about what you allow to remain in your thoughts. A fearful thought may appear harmless at first, but if you continue feeding it, it begins shaping your perspective. Soon you start expecting disappointment before blessing. You begin preparing for failure before you have even taken the first step. Replace those thoughts immediately with my truth. Remind yourself that I have never abandoned you. Remind yourself that I remain in control. Remind yourself that my grace is sufficient for every challenge you will ever face. The battlefield of your life often begins in your mind, so guard it with diligence. There are people praying for peace while continually filling their hearts with worry. They ask me for confidence, but spend every day listening to voices that create fear. I invite you to do something different. Spend more time listening to my truth than to the world's anxiety. Let my promises become louder than your doubts. The more time you spend in my presence, the more clearly you will recognize my guidance. Peace does not grow by accident. It grows wherever my presence is welcomed. You have also asked me to show you your purpose. Listen carefully. Purpose is not only found in great accomplishments. It is revealed through faithful obedience one day at a time. Every person you encourage, every act of kindness you offer, every prayer you faithfully whisper, every opportunity to serve with humility becomes part of the purpose I have entrusted to you. Do not overlook today's opportunity because you are waiting for tomorrow's assignment. Great purpose is often revealed through ordinary faithfulness. As this message continues, I want your confidence to become rooted, not in changing circumstances, but in my unchanging character. Storms will come and go. Seasons will change. People will enter and leave your life. But I remain the same. When your confidence is anchored in me, temporary disappointments lose the power to shake your foundation. Build your life upon my truth, and you will discover a peace that remains steady, even while the winds continue blowing around you. Stay with me until the final part of this message. Every lesson I have shared has been leading to something greater. I am not only encouraging your heart for today, I am preparing you for the season that is already drawing near. The strength you are gaining now will become the confidence you need tomorrow. The wisdom you are receiving now will become the guidance you rely upon later. Trust my process. Trust my timing. Trust my heart. If today you are choosing to leave guilt behind and embrace the new beginning I offer, write, "I walk in your grace," in the comments. Let those words become your declaration whenever the past tries to pull you backward. And remember this, above everything else, I have never stopped working for your good. I have never stopped loving you, and I will never stop leading you as you continue walking with me. Be still once more, because I have not finished speaking to your heart. There is a reason I have been leading you through these words, one step at a time. I do not want you to leave with temporary emotion alone. I want you to leave with lasting transformation. Feelings may rise and fall, but truth remains. That is why I am planting my truth deep within your heart, where no storm can uproot it. There are days ahead when circumstances may try to challenge everything you have heard today. In those moments, I want you to remember not how you felt, but what I have spoken. My word is stronger than your emotions. My promises are greater than your fears. My faithfulness is more dependable than anything this world can offer. You have spent too much time wondering whether you are truly making progress. Because you still face struggles. You assume nothing has changed. Because temptations still appear, you believe you are standing still. But growth is not measured by the absence of battles. Growth is revealed by the way you respond to them. There was a time when disappointment would have caused you to abandon hope. Now you continue believing. There was a time when fear controlled every decision. Now you stop and seek my wisdom first. There was a time when criticism would have broken your spirit. Now you bring your heart to me, instead of allowing the opinions of others to define you. Do not overlook these victories. They are evidence that I have been transforming you from the inside out. My child, stop believing that I only work through dramatic moments. Many of the greatest miracles I perform happen quietly. A heart learning to forgive is a miracle. A fearful mind discovering peace is a miracle. A weary soul choosing to hope again is a miracle. A person who once doubted my goodness beginning to trust me again is a miracle. Never measure my activity only by what the world calls extraordinary. Sometimes the greatest evidence of my presence is the quiet strength I place inside you to keep moving forward, one faithful step at a time. I also want to remind you that every season has a purpose. Spring teaches growth, summer teaches endurance, autumn teaches release, winter teaches trust. If you attempt to escape every difficult season, you will also miss the lessons that only those seasons can provide. Do not rush through what I am trying to teach you. Every lesson is preparing you for a future responsibility. Every challenge is strengthening your faith. Every delay is refining your character. You may not understand every reason today, but one day you will look back and recognize that my wisdom was guiding every step. Do not become discouraged by the pace of your journey. I have never been late, and I will never begin now. Human schedules often create unnecessary pressure. People compare timelines, celebrate achievements, and wonder why someone else's story seems to unfold more quickly. But I have written your story with perfect wisdom. I know exactly when each chapter should begin. I know when opportunities should arrive and when they should wait. If something has not yet appeared, trust that I still know the perfect moment. What I prepare carefully will always be better than what impatience tries to produce. There are blessings I have already placed within your reach, but worry has prevented you from noticing them. Slow down. Look around you. Notice the people who love you. Notice the strength you possess today that you did not have before. Notice the doors I have already opened. Notice the wisdom you have gained through past struggles. Gratitude opens your eyes to blessings that anxiety often hides. A thankful heart becomes more sensitive to my presence because it recognizes that I have been working all along. I also want you to guard your words carefully. Speak hope instead of defeat. Speak faith instead of fear. Speak blessing over your family instead of constantly repeating everything that seems wrong. Words have the power to shape the atmosphere of your heart. When you continually declare my truth, you remind yourself that my promises remain unchanged regardless of temporary circumstances. Let your conversations become filled with encouragement. Become someone whose words lift others instead of discouraging them. You never know how one sentence spoken in love may become the answer to another person's silent prayer. Continue making room for me every day. Do not allow your schedule to become so crowded that there is no quiet place where you can hear my voice. Spend time with me before the distractions of the day begin. Open my word with expectation. Pray sincerely instead of rushing through familiar phrases. Sit quietly and allow my peace to settle over your heart. The more consistently you seek me, the more naturally you will recognize my direction when important decisions arise. Clarity grows where fellowship remains constant. As you prepare for the final part of this message, I want you to understand that everything I have shared has been leading to one simple truth. I have been faithful in every season of your life, and I will remain faithful in every season yet to come. You do not need to fear tomorrow because I am already there. You do not need to carry burdens that belong in my hands. Walk forward with confidence, knowing that my grace will always arrive before your need. If these words have strengthened your heart today, write "Your faithfulness never fails" in the comments. Let those words become your testimony. If this message has encouraged you, stay with me until the final part, because I want to leave you with a truth that will remain in your heart long after this message ends. A truth that will help you walk into every new day with courage, peace, and unwavering confidence in my love. Stay with me for a little longer, because there is one truth I want to place so deeply within your heart that no disappointment, no hardship, and no unexpected storm will ever be able to remove it. You have spent too much of your life believing that you must carry every burden by yourself. You have tried to hold together situations that were falling apart. You have tried to rescue relationships that only I could restore. You have tried to predict tomorrow so you could protect yourself from disappointment. Yet all that striving has left you weary. It has stolen moments of joy that I intended you to enjoy. It has caused you to miss the peace that was available simply by placing your trust in me. Today I am inviting you to lay those burdens down once and for all. You were never created to carry what only I can sustain. There have been moments when your heart quietly whispered, "Lord, I do not know how much longer I can continue." I heard those words even before you spoke them. I understood the exhaustion behind them. I saw the nights when sleep escaped you because your thoughts refused to rest. I watched you searching for answers that seemed just beyond your reach. I never turned away during those moments. While you believed nothing was changing, I was strengthening you in ways that your eyes could not yet recognize. Every prayer was shaping your heart. Every tear was drawing you closer to my presence. Every delay was preparing you for blessings that required a stronger foundation than you possessed before. My child, I want you to understand something that will change the way you face every future challenge. Your confidence should never rest upon your own ability to control circumstances. Your confidence must rest upon my unchanging character. Circumstances rise and fall like the tide, but my faithfulness remains steady forever. People may disappoint you, but I remain true. Opportunities may disappear, but my purpose never fails. Seasons may change, but my love remains constant. Build your life upon that truth, and you will discover a peace that cannot be shaken by temporary difficulties. I know that sometimes you become discouraged because you cannot immediately see the fruit of your prayers. You wonder whether anything is happening at all. But remember how a seed grows. For a long time, nothing appears above the ground. Hidden beneath the surface, roots are stretching deeper, becoming strong enough to support future growth. In the same way, I have been developing unseen strength within you. I have been teaching you patience when you wanted immediate answers. I have been building humility when success might have produced pride. I have been growing compassion through your own experiences of pain, so that one day you will comfort others with the same comfort you have received from me. Do not allow fear to convince you that tomorrow holds only uncertainty. I am already waiting in your tomorrow. Before the sun rises on your next day, my grace is already there. Before a challenge appears, I have already prepared the strength you will need to overcome it. Before an opportunity arrives, I have already begun preparing your heart to receive it wisely. This is why you can rest. Not because life will always be easy, but because I will always be with you. My presence is the promise that gives courage to every uncertain step. There are also people I will place along your path who desperately need the hope I have been building inside you. They may never hear a sermon, but they will watch your life. They will notice your peace during difficult seasons. They will see your kindness when others choose bitterness. They will observe your patience when circumstances become frustrating. Through your faithfulness, they will begin asking questions that open doors for my truth. Never underestimate the influence of a life quietly surrendered to me. The light you carry shines brightest when the world around you grows darker. Do not become distracted by voices that tell you to seek success at any cost. True success is not measured by applause, wealth, or recognition. True success is measured by faithfulness. A person who walks closely with me, loves others sincerely, forgives quickly, serves humbly, and remains obedient even when no one is watching, has achieved something far greater than temporary popularity. Invest your life in what lasts forever. Build treasures that no circumstance can steal. Live each day in a way that honors me, and you will never regret the path you have chosen. Continue protecting your heart from unnecessary anxiety. Every morning, bring your concerns to me before carrying them into the day. Every evening, leave your worries with me before you close your eyes. Do not carry into tomorrow what I have already invited you to surrender today. The more consistently you practice releasing your burdens into my hands, the more naturally peace will begin to rule your heart instead of fear. This is not something that happens once. It becomes a daily decision to trust me again and again. I also want you to remember that gratitude is one of the greatest expressions of faith. Thank me before the answer arrives. Praise me before the breakthrough becomes visible. Worship me before circumstances improve. This kind of faith declares that you trust my heart even when you cannot yet trace my hand. Such faith pleases me because it rests upon who I am rather than upon what you currently see. Now remain with me until the very end of this journey. The final part is approaching, and I want to leave you with a message that you can carry into every new day of your life. I want you to finish this journey stronger than when you began, filled with hope instead of fear, confidence instead of doubt, and peace instead of anxiety. Everything I have spoken has been leading to this final encouragement, where I will remind you once again that my plans for your life have never changed, and my love for you has never failed. If today you choose to place your complete confidence in my faithfulness instead of your circumstances, write, "My hope is in you alone," in the comments. Let those words become your declaration every time uncertainty tries to steal your peace. Continue with me to the final part, because I have one more message that I want to seal within your heart. A message that will remind you every day that no matter what comes, you will never walk alone. Do not allow your attention to drift now, because there is something I have been preparing your heart to receive. There are seasons when you believe the greatest work I am doing is changing what is happening around you, but many times my greatest work is changing what is happening within you. Circumstances may improve for a while, but if the heart remains unchanged, peace quickly disappears again. That is why I have been patiently teaching you to trust me beyond your emotions, beyond your fears, and beyond what your natural eyes can see. I am not merely preparing you for a better season. I am preparing you to become a stronger person who will remain faithful in every season. You have wondered why certain answers did not arrive when you expected them. You looked at the calendar and thought the delay meant I had forgotten your prayer. But I want you to understand that my timing has always been connected to my wisdom. I do not answer according to human impatience. I answer according to what will ultimately bring the greatest good into your life. There are blessings that would have become burdens if they had arrived too early. There are opportunities that would have distracted you from my purpose if I had opened those doors before your heart was ready. Never confuse my patience with my absence. I have been working even when you could not recognize my hand. My child, I know there are moments when your confidence becomes fragile. There are days when one unexpected disappointment seems powerful enough to erase months of hope. But listen carefully to my voice. Your confidence was never meant to rest upon circumstances that constantly change. It was always meant to rest upon me. The winds may blow, the rain may fall, and unexpected storms may arrive without warning, but the one who builds upon my truth will continue standing. Do not build your peace upon temporary success. Build it upon my unchanging faithfulness, and you will discover a strength that cannot be shaken. There are people who have spoken words over your life that wounded your heart. Some told you that you would never succeed. Others questioned your value. Some judged you according to your weakest moments, instead of the person I created you to become. Those voices have remained in your thoughts far longer than they should have. Today, I am asking you to release them. Do not allow human opinions to become greater than my truth. I know who you are because I formed you. I know your future because I prepared it. I know your purpose because I designed it before you took your first breath. Trust my voice above every other voice. Do not become discouraged because your journey has required perseverance. The strongest trees do not grow overnight. The deepest rivers are formed through years of steady movement. The brightest testimony is often written through seasons of quiet faithfulness rather than moments of instant success. Continue walking. Continue believing. Continue praying. Every faithful step you take today is preparing you for opportunities that are drawing closer than you realize. I also want you to become intentional about protecting your peace. Not every conversation deserves your energy. Not every argument deserves your response. Not every criticism deserves your attention. Learn to distinguish between what requires action and what should simply be placed into my hands. There is wisdom in knowing when to speak, and wisdom in remaining silent. There is strength in trusting me to defend what you do not need, to defend yourself. The more you walk with me, the more discernment I will give you to recognize the difference. Remember that gratitude is one of the greatest safeguards for your heart. A grateful spirit cannot easily be controlled by fear. Begin each day by remembering my goodness instead of anticipating your problems. Thank me for the strength you already possess. Thank me for the doors I have already opened. Thank me for the lessons that have made you wiser. Thank me even for the seasons that stretched your faith, because they have shaped you into someone who depends upon me more deeply than before. Gratitude will remind you that I have never stopped working in your life. Do not overlook the people I have placed around you. Some need encouragement that only you can offer. Some need to hear words of hope from someone who has also walked through difficult valleys. Others need to see what steadfast faith looks like during uncertain times. Your testimony is not merely found in what I have done for you. It is revealed in how you continue trusting me while I am still working. Let your life become an invitation for others to seek me. As this journey continues, keep your heart open, because every truth I have shared is building a stronger foundation beneath your faith. I do not want your confidence to disappear when the next challenge appears. I want your confidence to become so deeply rooted in my love that no disappointment can uproot it. This is the kind of faith that remains steady through every season and becomes a light for others who are searching for hope. Stay with me until the very end of this message. There are still important truths I want to seal within your heart before we finish this journey together. What you are learning today is not only for this moment, it is preparation for the years ahead. The peace I am giving you is meant to become your daily companion, and the wisdom I am placing within you will guide you through decisions you have not yet faced. If you are choosing today to trust my voice above every voice of fear, write, "Your truth is my foundation," in the comments. Let those words become your declaration whenever doubt tries to return. Keep walking with confidence, keep listening with expectation, and keep believing with all your heart, because I am still leading you, still strengthening you, and still preparing wonderful things that will unfold in my perfect time. Remain with me a little longer, because I know there is a question that still lingers quietly within your heart. You have asked me, "Lord, how do I continue believing when I cannot yet see the answer?" That question has echoed through your mind more times than you realize, and today I want to answer it. You continue believing because your faith was never meant to depend upon visible evidence alone. If you could see everything I was doing, faith would no longer be necessary. Faith is trusting my heart while my hands are still working beyond what your eyes can see. Every day you choose to trust me. Before the answer arrives, your faith becomes stronger, your character becomes deeper, and your relationship with me becomes more secure. Think about the countless ways I have already demonstrated my faithfulness throughout your life. There were doors that closed, and later you realized they were protecting you. There were disappointments that eventually became blessings because they redirected your path. They were people who walked away, creating space for healthier relationships that you never expected. At the time, you could not understand what I was doing, but now you can see pieces of my wisdom. If I have been faithful through those seasons, why should you fear the one you are walking through now? The same God who carried you yesterday is carrying you today and will continue carrying you tomorrow. My child, do not allow temporary uncertainty to become permanent discouragement. There are moments when your emotions try to convince you that because you cannot see progress, nothing is changing. But I assure you that I am working in places where human eyes cannot follow. Just as roots grow beneath the soil before branches appear above the ground, I am strengthening the unseen areas of your life before revealing the visible blessings you have been praying for. Never despise the hidden season. What develops beneath the surface determines the strength of everything that grows above it. I also want you to understand the importance of guarding your expectations. Expect my goodness more than you expect. Disappointment. Too often you prepare yourself for failure before giving me the opportunity to surprise you with my faithfulness. Fear has taught you to expect the worst, so you will not be hurt again. But I am teaching you to expect my presence instead. This does not mean every day will be free from challenges. It means every challenge will become another opportunity to discover that I remain sufficient for everything you face. Let hope become your daily expectation, because my mercy is renewed every morning. Do not spend your energy trying to understand every detail of my plan before taking the next faithful step. There are things I reveal only while you are walking. If I showed you the entire journey today, you might become overwhelmed by responsibilities that belong to another season. Instead, I give you enough light for today's path. Walk in the direction I have already shown you, and more understanding will come as you continue trusting me. Obedience opens doors that hesitation can never discover. Be careful not to mistake activity for purpose. The world often rewards people for staying busy, but I desire that you remain fruitful rather than merely occupied. Before saying yes to every opportunity, ask whether it draws you closer to my purpose or simply fills your schedule. There is wisdom in choosing what matters most. Protect the time you spend with me. Protect your peace. Protect the relationships that strengthen your faith. Do not sacrifice what is eternal, simply to satisfy what is temporary. I know there are moments when loneliness has visited your heart. Even while surrounded by people, you have sometimes felt as though no one truly understood what you were carrying. Hear me clearly today. I understand completely. I know every hidden burden, every private battle, every unanswered question, and every silent prayer. You never have to pretend before me. Bring me your honest heart. Bring me your fears, your doubts, your disappointments, and your dreams. I am not intimidated by your weakness. I am the one who strengthens the weary and restores those whose hope has grown faint. As you continue growing in faith, remember that humility will always keep your heart teachable. Never believe you have reached a place where you no longer need my guidance. Continue seeking my wisdom in both great decisions and small ones. The person who walks closely with me every day develops discernment that cannot be gained through knowledge alone. My spirit will guide you, correct you, comfort you, and strengthen you as you continue placing your confidence in me. There will also be opportunities to become an answer to someone else's prayer. A kind word, a listening ear, a generous act, or a sincere prayer may become the very thing another person has been asking me to provide. Stay sensitive to my leading. Do not overlook simple opportunities to love others. Great ministries are often built through small acts of faithfulness, repeated with sincere hearts. Allow my compassion to flow through your life so that others may experience my love through you. Remain with me until this journey is complete. Every truth I have shared has been preparing your heart for a life that is rooted in faith instead of fear. I do not want these words to remain only in your memory. I want them to become the way you live, the way you think, and the way you walk each day. The more deeply these truths take root within you, the more firmly you will stand when future challenges arise. If you are choosing today to believe my faithfulness before you see the answer, write, "I will wait with faith" in the comments. Let those words become your declaration whenever impatience or doubt tries to return. Continue walking beside me with confidence, because I am leading you toward a future that is filled with my peace, my wisdom, and my unfailing love, one faithful step at a time. Stay close to me, because I do not want you to finish this journey with information alone. Buddy, I want you to finish it with confidence that cannot be shaken by the next unexpected storm. There will always be voices competing for your attention. Some will tell you that the future is uncertain. Others will remind you only of your failures. Some will try to convince you that hope is foolish and faith is weak. But I am asking you to listen more carefully than ever before. The loudest voice is not always the truest voice. The voice that fills your heart with fear is not mine. The voice that continually condemns you is not mine. The voice that tells you there is no reason to keep believing is not mine. My voice leads you toward truth. My voice strengthens your spirit. My voice reminds you that even when the road is difficult, I am still walking beside you. There are moments when you expect me to change your circumstances immediately, yet I first choose to change your perspective. When your perspective changes, you begin to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You begin to recognize blessings that were hidden behind disappointments. You begin to understand that every season carries a purpose. Even those seasons you once wished would end as quickly as possible. I have not wasted a single day of your life. Every experience has become part of the work I am accomplishing within you. Even the painful chapters have taught you compassion. Even the lonely seasons have drawn you closer to my heart. Even the delays have strengthened your patience and prepared you for responsibilities that require greater maturity. My child, I want you to stop fearing the future because I am already there. You have spent countless hours imagining what could go wrong, yet you rarely stop to imagine what I can do. You think about closed doors, but I see doors that are ready to open. You think about limited resources, but I possess unlimited provision. You think about your weakness, but I see the strength I am developing within you every single day. Your future is not controlled by fear. It is held securely in my hands. Rest in that truth. Return to it whenever anxiety tries to steal your peace. Do not allow disappointment to make your heart suspicious of my goodness. Sometimes after experiencing pain, you begin expecting every new opportunity to end the same way. You become hesitant to trust again. You become cautious about hoping again. Yet I did not create you to live imprisoned by yesterday's wounds. I created you to walk in freedom. Healing often begins when you choose to believe that my goodness is greater than your greatest disappointment. Keep your heart open. Do not let old pain become a wall that prevents new blessings from entering your life. There are people watching your journey who may never tell you how much your faith has encouraged them. They see you continuing to pray even when answers seem delayed. They notice your kindness in situations where bitterness would have been easier. They admire the peace that remains in your heart despite the challenges you face. Do not underestimate the testimony of a faithful life. Sometimes your greatest sermon is not spoken with your lips, but lived through your daily obedience. Continue reflecting, my love. Continue showing patience. Continue choosing forgiveness. Every act of faithfulness becomes a light shining into someone else's darkness. I also want you to remember that peace is something you must intentionally protect. Do not allow unnecessary worry to occupy the space where my promises belong. When fearful thoughts arrive, bring them into my presence instead of allowing them to remain in your heart. Pray before panic. Worship before worrying. Trust before assuming the worst. The habit of bringing everything to me will gradually replace anxiety with confidence because you will continually remind yourself that I remain in control. There will be moments ahead when you will have to make important decisions. During those times, do not rush because others are rushing. Do not choose simply because an opportunity appears attractive. Seek my wisdom first. Wait for my peace. Listen carefully for my direction. I am not interested in leading you toward what merely looks successful. I desire to lead you toward what fulfills my purpose for your life. A door opened by impatience can become a burden, but a door opened by my hand becomes a blessing that no one can take away. As this journey draws closer to its conclusion, I want your heart to become firmly rooted in one unchanging truth. My presence is your greatest treasure, more valuable than success, more precious than recognition, and greater than every temporary achievement is the privilege of walking closely with me. Everything else in life may change, but the relationship we build together will remain forever. Invest in it daily. Protect it faithfully. Treasure it above everything this world offers, and you will possess a peace that cannot be purchased and a joy that cannot be stolen. Do not stop now. Stay with me until the final words are spoken. I have been carefully building your faith from the beginning of this message, and I want to leave you with a lasting foundation that will strengthen you long after this moment has passed. What you have learned is not only for today, it is for every tomorrow that awaits you. If today you choose to place your future completely into my hands, write, "My future belongs to you," in the comments. Let those words become your declaration whenever uncertainty tries to return. Continue walking forward with courage. Continue trusting my heart above your understanding, and continue believing that the one who has faithfully carried you this far will never stop leading you toward the purpose he has prepared for your life. Remain with me for just a little longer, because we are approaching the end of this journey together, and there is one more truth I want to establish firmly within your heart before we finish. Throughout your life, you have searched for certainty in many places. Sometimes you searched for it in people, hoping they would never disappoint you. Sometimes you searched for it in achievements, believing success would finally bring lasting peace. Sometimes you searched for it in possessions, thinking they would remove every fear about tomorrow. Yet every one of those things eventually reminded you that nothing in this world remains unchanged forever. That is why I have been drawing you back to the only foundation that cannot be shaken, my presence. Everything else may change, but I never will. When your heart learns to rest in me, you discover a peace that no circumstance can take away. There have been moments when you believed your greatest battle was against the situation surrounding you, but many of your greatest victories have happened within your own heart. Every time you chose forgiveness instead of bitterness, you won a victory. Every time you chose prayer instead of panic, you won another victory. Every time you trusted me after disappointment, another chain was broken. Never underestimate these moments. The world often celebrates visible accomplishments, but heaven rejoices over a heart that continues choosing faith when fear seems easier. Every decision to trust me is changing you into the person I created you to become. My child, I want you to remember something. Whenever life becomes confusing, you do not have to understand everything to trust me. There will always be questions that remain unanswered for a season. There will be paths that seem unclear and moments when you wish I would explain every detail of my plan. But if I revealed everything today, you might rely upon information instead of relationship. I desire something greater than simply giving you answers. I desire that you know my heart so deeply that even when you do not understand my ways, you still trust my goodness. That kind of faith becomes an anchor that keeps you steady through every storm. I know there are dreams you still carry quietly within your heart. Some of them have been there for years. Others were born through difficult seasons when you cried out for change. Do not believe those dreams have been forgotten. If they were planted by me, I continue watching over them. Some require more preparation than you expected. Some require more patience than you desired. Others require you to become the person who can carry the blessing with humility and wisdom. Continue trusting my timing. Continue growing while you wait. Continue believing that I know exactly when every promise should unfold. There are also burdens I do not want you to carry beyond this day. Release the fear that tells you you are not enough. Release the regret that continually points toward your past instead of your future. Release the pressure to prove your worth to people whose approval cannot define your identity. Your value has never been determined by human opinion. Your worth was established by my love long before anyone spoke a word over your life. Walk confidently in that truth. Let it shape the way you think, the way you speak, and the way you face every new day. Be careful not to become distracted by everything that demands your attention. The world constantly invites you to hurry, to worry, and to compare yourself with others. But I invite you to slow down enough to hear my voice. Spend time with me before you rush into your responsibilities. Let my truth become the first thing that fills your heart each morning. When you begin your day in my presence, you carry my peace into every conversation, every decision, and every challenge. The world cannot give that peace, and it cannot take it away. There will soon come a day when you look back upon this season and realize that what once appeared to be delay was actually divine preparation. You will recognize how I protected you from decisions that would have wounded your future. You will understand why certain prayers required patience. You will see that every lesson, every challenge, every unexpected turn became part of a greater story that only I could write. On that day, your gratitude will become even deeper because you will finally see how perfectly my hand was guiding you all along. Do not forget that I have also called you to become a source of hope in a world filled with discouragement. Many people around you are silently searching for peace. Some have almost given up believing that tomorrow can be different. Let your life remind them that hope is still alive. Speak with kindness. Listen with compassion. Pray faithfully. Love generously. Allow my character to become visible through the way you treat others. The greatest testimony is not simply telling people about me. It is allowing them to see my love reflected through your life. As you prepare to hear the final words of this message, I want you to enter the next season with confidence instead of fear. Do not carry old anxieties into the future. I am preparing for you. Walk forward, knowing that I have already gone before you. Every step you take is already known to me. Every challenge has already been measured by my wisdom. Every blessing has already been prepared according to my perfect timing. Nothing that awaits you is greater than the grace I will provide when the moment arrives. Stay with me for the final part. Do not leave before receiving the last encouragement I have prepared for your heart. I want to seal everything I have spoken with one final reminder that you can carry for the rest of your life. I want you to leave this journey knowing beyond every doubt that my faithfulness is not a promise for only today. It is a certainty for every tomorrow you will ever face. If your heart is choosing today to trust my timing more than your own understanding, write, "Your will is my peace," in the comments. Let those words become your daily declaration. Hold tightly to them whenever uncertainty tries to return, and remember that I am leading you with perfect wisdom, unfailing love, and endless grace every step of the way. Before these words come to an end, I want you to pause one final time and allow everything I have spoken to settle deeply within your heart. Do not rush away from this moment. Let it become a turning point in your life. From the very beginning of this journey, I have been reminding you of one simple truth. I have never left you. Through every season of joy and every valley of sorrow, through every victory and every disappointment, through every question and every answer, my presence has remained constant. You may have felt alone at times, but you were never abandoned. You may have believed heaven was silent, but I was never absent. Even when you could not recognize my hand, I was already working for your good in ways your eyes could not yet understand. Look back over the path you have traveled. Think about every obstacle that once appeared impossible. Think about every burden that convinced you it would become the end of your story. Think about every moment when you believed there was no strength left to continue. Yet here you are. You are still standing. You are still breathing. You are still searching for me. You are still believing that hope is greater than despair. That is not because life has been easy. It is because my grace has been sustaining you every single day. I carried you when your own strength was gone. I protected you when dangers surrounded you without your knowledge. I opened doors you never expected and quietly closed others that would have led you away from my purpose. My child, never forget what I am about to tell you. Your future is not being written by fear. It is not being controlled by the mistakes of your past. It is not determined by the opinions of people who failed to understand your value. Your future rests securely in my hands. Before you were born, I knew every chapter of your life. I knew every mountain you would climb, every tear you would cry, every prayer you would whisper, every battle you would face, and every victory I would bring through my grace. Nothing about your life has taken me by surprise. Therefore, do not fear tomorrow. Walk toward it with confidence, because I will already be there waiting for you. There will still be days when questions arise. There will still be moments when unexpected challenges appear. There will still be seasons that require patience and faith. But I want you to face every one of them differently than before. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" begin asking, "Lord, what are you teaching me through this?" Instead of allowing fear to become your first response, allow prayer to become your first response. Instead of focusing only on what you have lost, remember everything I have already given you. Every challenge becomes lighter when your eyes remain fixed on me instead of on the storm surrounding you. I also want you to carry this message beyond your own life. There are people around you who desperately need hope. Some smile while carrying invisible burdens. Others laugh while quietly fighting loneliness. Some have almost stopped believing that anyone truly sees them. Be my hands to them. Speak words that encourage. Listen with compassion. Forgive quickly. Love generously. Pray faithfully. Shine my light wherever darkness tries to settle. You may never fully know how one conversation, one prayer, one act of kindness, or one moment of obedience changes another person's life. But I know, never underestimate what I can accomplish through someone who simply chooses to love as I have loved. Continue making time for me every day. Do not allow the distractions of this world to become louder than my voice. Meet with me in the quiet moments of the morning. Open my word with expectation, not obligation. Speak to me honestly, because you never need to hide your heart from me. Worship me, not only when life feels easy, but also when you are waiting for answers. The closer you walk with me, the more clearly you will recognize my guidance. My desire has never been simply to bless your circumstances. My greatest desire is that you know me more deeply, trust me more completely, and reflect my love more faithfully. As you leave this message, carry these truths into your everyday life. When fear comes, remember that I am your refuge. When uncertainty comes, remember that I am your guide. When weakness comes, remember that my strength is made perfect in weakness. When joy comes, give thanks. When sorrow comes, draw near to me. In every season, choose faith over fear, gratitude over complaint, forgiveness over bitterness, hope over despair, and love over resentment. These choices will not only transform your own heart, they will become a testimony to everyone who watches your life. I want you to remember one final promise. I will never stop working in your life. Even when progress feels slow, I am working. Even when prayers seem delayed, I am working. Even when you cannot see the next step, I am working. Even when the night feels long, morning is already on its way. Trust me when you understand, and trust me when you do not. My faithfulness is not measured by what you can currently see. My faithfulness is established by who I am, and I cannot deny my own nature. I am faithful. I have always been faithful. I will always be faithful. Now, I send you forward with peace. Walk confidently into the days ahead. Lift your eyes when discouragement tries to pull them down. Keep your heart soft. Keep your spirit humble. Keep your faith alive. Continue seeking me with sincerity, And you will discover again and again that I am nearer than you imagined, stronger than every obstacle you face, and more loving than words could ever fully describe. If this message has spoken to your heart from beginning to end, write, "I will trust you until the end," in the comments as your declaration of faith. Let your testimony encourage someone else who may be reading these words today. If these messages have strengthened your walk with me, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs hope. And if you feel blessed by this ministry and would like to help this message continue reaching hearts around the world, you can support it through the link provided below. Every act of generosity helps carry this message of faith, encouragement, and hope to those who may be praying for exactly these words. Go now with courage. Walk in my peace. Live in my love. Stand firm in your faith. And remember this every day of your life. I have never abandoned you. I am with you today, and I will be with you until the very end. My love will never fail you. My mercy will never leave you, and my grace will always be enough. Amen.